Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi on two-day state visit to Ghana.
New transport fares take effect today.
Police arrest 8 Chinese nationals at Bekwai for engaging in illegal mining.
And in foreign news, donors at AU Summit pledged $250 million to fight Boko Haram. Pleasure to have you join us. You're welcome to the studios of GBC24 here in the capital. This is News Hour. My name is Selikem Akolache Apalu.
And my name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. Robert Frimpomans is also here with us. He will do the sign language translation of the news. The news now in detail.
Right. Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi has arrived in Accra this evening at the start of a two-day state visit to Ghana.
He was met on arrival by Foreign Affairs Minister, Madame Hannah Tete, and the Italian Ambassador to Ghana, Laura Capini.
Mr. Matteo Renzi's visit is the first by any Italian Prime Minister to Ghana.
It is the highest level response to previous visits to Italy by Ghanaian leaders such as ex-presidents Rawlings, J.A. Kufuor, and the current president, John Mahama.
The exchanges underline the growing political and economic ties between Ghana and Italy.
Italian businesses in Ghana include those to do with logistics, furniture, construction, food and beverages, and manufacturing.
Italy is also a recipient of Ghana's exports to the EU, particularly cocoa, gold and timber.
Prime Minister Matteo Renzi became Italy's youngest leader of government, assuming office at the age of 39 in 2014.
While in Ghana, he will engage with President John Mahama and later visit Parliament.
He is also expected to lay a wreath at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
And in developments within the transportation sector, transport fares are up 15%. The new fares kicked in on Monday, coinciding with a 2% reduction in petrol price. Checks by GBC24 at some transport terminals in Accra show the new fares have become operational. The reduction in petrol prices comes less than a month after the price of petroleum products shot up by about 27%, triggering public outcry and a wave of protests.
The increase in the fares is due to the recent increase in fuel prices by 28%. The GPRTU and other stakeholders say they have factored into the 15% increment the cost of spare parts and charges for obtaining licenses and other documents for their operations. At the same intra and intercity transport stations visited at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, drivers and station masters say they are awaiting confirmatory note from the GPRTU Secretariat before they will start charging the new fares. The first trustee of Newplant branch of the GPRTU at Circle, Mr. John Tete, appealed to drivers to exercise restraint till the new fares are published.
Let me take this opportunity and plead with our various unions that since the fare have come, we shouldn't be in a rush, because we know the routine of the GPRTU, that at the end of the day, as they've done a press conference, the fares have been announced. Our secretariat intend or will just give us a letter that mandate us that we have to increase the fare by 15%.
Other stations visited, including the Adenta Medina, Kaswa, Awush, Kandishi, and Odoko, Kumasi, Sunyani, Takrady, and Cape Coast, drivers are still charging the old fares. Here too, there was a general consensus among the operators that the upward review of the fares will take effect only when the correct calculation for the 15% is released by the leadership of the various transport unions. Interestingly, some of the commuters interviewed said they were not even aware of the jump in transport fares, though the announcement was made last week.
I am not aware of any changes in transport fares.
I have been told to pay a new fare. I did not hear of any announcement.
but most of them were of the view that the 15% upward adjustment of transport fares is still on the high side and will put pressure on their pockets.
I think it is too much for us because already fuel prices have gone up.
The increment will worsen the plight of workers. Our salaries do not commensurate with the hikes in transport fares.
The last time transport fares went up by 15% was in June 2015, when the petroleum deregulation had not taken effect. So, the new 15% hikes on the heels of 28% in the petroleum prices mean that within the space of about 8 months, Ghanaians have seen a total increase of 30% in transport fares. Meanwhile, the National Petroleum Authority says it is disappointed by the steps taken by the transport organizations to increase transport fares by 15%, especially at a time that it has reduced petroleum prices by 2%.
To the Ashanti region now, and the police have arrested 8 Chinese nationals for engaging in illegal mining at Bekwai. All 8 were arrested while using excavators to illegally mine for gold in the Kobo portion of the Pamprama Forest Reserve. Earlier, the Executive Director of the Forestry Services Division of the Forestry Commission, Mr. Raphael Yeboah, told GBC24 his outfit was determined to clamp down on encroachment of the country's forest reserves, which are critical to achieving ecological balance.
This forest reserve destruction, as you've been told, actually took place on Friday, the 29th of this month. And for about 1.5 months, we've been monitoring these people who had actually stationed some 2 excavators outside the forest reserve. And with the help of the local communities, when they entered and started construction on Friday, accosted 5 Chinese people and 3 Ghanaians who are all in the custody of the Bekwai District Police and have been processed for prosecution. We observed their advances by putting the excavator there, and we put our rapid response team also close to them to monitor whatever they were doing. And that is how come they were, as soon as they entered, they were arrested. There are 3 Ghanaians and 5 Chinese nationalities. As at now, the 8 people have been arrested and are all in the custody at Bekwai in Ashanti region.
Okay.
As recently, some offenders have been successfully prosecuted and given various fines, and in addition, also added acts to rehabilitate the destroyed portion of the forest. So we are actually sending a lot of people, like these people are going to be prosecuted. In addition to that, we also strengthening our rapid response teams that are also partially armed to patrol the areas to ensure that these offenses do not occur.
And we're now taking you up north, where one person has been arrested in connection with a chieftaincy dispute at Bunkrungu. A meeting between the feuding factions and the country's security chiefs took place in that restive part of the country to try to find solution to the renewed clashes which have claimed 2 lives. Our Northern Regional Correspondent Saka Mohammed has this update on the situation.
Now, about 9 years now, the capital has not been peaceful at all as a result of a chieftaincy dispute between 2 royal families, namely Damon and Tafok. The conflict has claimed about 11 lives and property worth several cities got destroyed, while about hundreds of citizens have been displaced. The National Security Council led by the Chief of Army Staff, Opoku Adosi, and the Deputy National Security Coordinator, Chief Alaj Osman Kasu, visited Buguru Township on Saturday to ascertain the renewal clashes that resulted in the killing of 3 people. The team visited some teams, and 7 houses were still burnt down. The IGP Kudolo advised the chiefs and the people to live in peace, and that the security personnel are there to maintain law and order, but nothing else. He said that resources that are meant for development are used to maintain peace in the area. The chief of army staff also talked about the peace, but he reminded them of this year's election, and that if they disturb the peace of the area, they will blame. The chief of Bukurugu also made some comments. He said he also talked about peace, but said he will be very happy if the receipt that has been filed before the court over the right owner of the scheme is disposed of immediately. And he believes that because for about 7 years, 8 years now, it has not been disposed of. That's why the issue is still creating problems to the area. Sam has returned to the area, but your information again, one person allegedly involved in the issue or the conflict.
To the Ashanti region now, where there has been another fire outbreak, this time at the Kumasi Racecourse Fitting Shop Yard near the GPRTU main office. Scores of shops, containers and cars have been destroyed, and one person is said to have sustained severe burns. About 1,000 people are also reported to have been displaced by the fire, the second to hit the Garden City in less than a month. Thomas Nsweje is GBC24 correspondent in the Ashanti region, and he has the details on this latest fire outbreak.
It happened yesterday around 2 p.m. When most of the mechanics were not on duty. You know, Sundays they normally go to check. So only few people were there, and the fire was detected just around a fence with a container shop. So the few people who were there managed to control it, but before they could invite the fire service personnel to be there, it had gotten out of hand, and many of their workshops were gutted, including 7 containers, 8 vehicles, and a number of vehicle spare parts were affected in the outbreak. So this morning we were there to witness the incident. In fact, when we went there, the owners of the shops were there to count their losses. One of them told us that he got the information when he was far away in his village that fire has gutted the area. So he rushed to the place to see what has just happened to almost everything that he and then the others have at their shops got burnt. And as you said, fortunately, because the people were not there, there wasn't any human casualty. And it also created that very bad scene because nobody was there to rescue anything. But most of their items there were caught by the fire and then destroyed. It was in the afternoon, and then you also know the weather now is not favorable at all. And then the mechanics, you know, some of them deal with fuel, petrol, and what have you. So it spread across. So some of the vehicles that were not even very closer to where the mechanics workshops were all caught in the fire.
Still on fires, but this time up north, fire has swept through 4 shops, including the office of the New Patriotic Party Northern Region Women's Wing around the Tamale Central Mosque. Sunday's fire destroyed items ranging from mobile phones and cosmetics to food items worth thousands of cedis. The cause of the fire is not yet known, but it is believed it may have been started by an electrical fault. According to an eyewitness, it took the intervention of residents in the area to prevent the fire from spreading to nearby houses. There were no casualties.
It's still News Hour live on your news channel, GBC24. The Minister for Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs, Dr. Seydou Dana, says violence and disputes are not options in the chieftaincy institution. Dr. Seydou Dana says the chieftaincy institution is a critical vehicle for effective socio-economic development and called for respect for the structures in the institution in order to be able to deal with the many chieftaincy disputes in the country.
The late Otumfo Pokuwari elevated the Amoafo and Adankreja stools, among 12 others, to a paramount status in 1996. They gained legal recognition through the enactment of Legislative Instrument 1946 under the Chieftaincy Act, Act 759 of 2008. Both the Amoafo and Adankreja stools were carved out of the Asante Bekwai paramountcy. The formation and inauguration of their respective traditional councils to make them legally complete and functional was however delayed. The two main chiefs, Nana Poku Ampoma of Amoafo and his Adankreja counterpart, Nana Pomfrenyam, could therefore only attend meetings of the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs as observers without taking any active part in the House proceedings. The inauguration of the Amoafo and Adankreja traditional councils bring to 7 the number of paramountcies within the Asante Bekwai municipality and makes them the 22nd and 23rd in the Ashanti region. Before the councils could assume their full administrative and judicial functions, the members had to be sworn in accordance with the law to take on legal personalities. The 13-member Amoafo Traditional Council has Nana Poku Amponsa as president, with Nana Ekwe being the only woman among them. On the other hand, the Adankreja Traditional Council, with 16 members, is under the leadership of Nana Pomfrenyam. At the separate inaugurations, the Kumasi Supervising High Court Judge, Justice Gibson Ajagli, who swore them into office, took them through the official and judicial oaths as well as the oaths of secrecy. Justice Ajagli said they must be conversant with the laws that regulate the chieftaincy institution, especially Act 759. The registrar of the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs, Mr. Kofi Wusu, said once the two traditional councils have been sworn in, they can sue and also be sued, and asked them to operate within the law. The Asante Bekwai Municipal Chief Executive, Ms. Mary Jantwa, said the creation of more paramountcies in the municipality will facilitate socio-economic development. The Minister for Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs, Dr. Henry Seydou Dana, was worried about the relatively high number of chieftaincy cases in the country. This, he says, negatively affects national development and blamed it mainly on the non-royals who claim legitimacy to stools and skins.
And back here in the capital, the National Advocacy Officer of the Ghana Federation of Organizations of Persons with Disability has hailed the election of Mr. Ivor Greenstreet as the flag bearer of the Convention People's Party. Mr. Isaac Tugun told GBC24 that Mr. Greenstreet's election shows Ghana's democracy is creating space for minorities, a development which he believes will boost the confidence of persons living with disabilities.
To the Federation is a welcome news, because that is what we'll be advocating for. We're advocating for the effective participation of persons with disability in party politics as well as national governance. And if Von Greenstreet has worked as General Secretary involved in the political activities of CPP, and today the delegates who are the representative of the members of CPP feel that he is competent enough to lead them as a flag bearer. We think his election is in the right direction. We also believe that it is also a sign that the country is beginning to wake up for the building of inclusive society.
The Convention People's Party (CPP) last Saturday elected its flag bearer for the November polls. Mr. Ivor Greenstreet contested as a parliamentary candidate in 1996 on the ticket of the CPP, but had to withdraw due to the Great Alliance at that time. He was later elected General Secretary in 2007 and again in 2011, being the only national officer to be re-elected for a second term. He also served on the Disability Council from 2007 to 2009. The election of Mr. Ivor Greenstreet as the CPP flag bearer makes him the first person with disability to run for president in Ghana. In an exclusive interview with GBC24, the Minister for Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs, Dr. Henry Seydou Dana, who is also a person with disability, described the victory of Mr. Greenstreet as a landmark, and he urged him to be ready to weather the storm that will come his way.
It's a great day for all persons with disability. But let me just, the word I'll have to him is that he should prepare himself. I know he has been in this game. He was the secretary of but now that he's a presidential candidate, he'll probably now be facing more, directed. And from the experience I have, you were on this country when I was appointed Minister of State by his president. You saw what happened. And I think that was the beginning of the tenor of the wind. And when I went and picked form to run for primaries, good heavens, I had the feel of it. So as you get along, you meet people who will speak nicely to you, and he will also meet people who will speak the unpleasant. But I think that this is what he has to prepare for. I'm sure he will get over it. I think it's healthy for the country. Let those who think that disability spells defeat, the doom of a man, let them think twice. Let them rethink, because what that stand is not right.
Moving on, the activities of Prisons Administration has been giving a push to help in the upkeep of the inmates. A philanthropist and traditional ruler, Togbi Agasemaglo, has supported the Nsawam medium security prisons with food and other essential items worth thousands of cedis.
The Nsawam medium prisons, like all other correctional centers across Ghana, goes through a daily struggle of upholding the safety, rights and upkeep of inmates due to the huge numbers serving various terms here. Feeding has been a major challenge for management, even as the daily stipend allocated to each inmate is awfully inadequate. And a chief based in Sapema near Nsawam, Togbi Agasemaglo, was touched by the plight of the prisoners through various media publications and decided to support with some essential items. They include bags of rice, cooking oil, toiletries, and bags of water. The consignment considered women inmates by including female towels. Presenting the items, Togbi Semaglo said he was particularly moved by government's determination to decongest the prisons by instituting the Justice for All program. He asked all Ghanaians to get on board to get the prisons up to speed with best practices. Management of the prisons thanked Togbi for the kind gesture, asking other philanthropists to follow suit. GBC24, Nsawam.
Well, this is News Hour on GBC24. We'll take a break here.
And when we come back, Maurice Ogbete will join us with a business segment. Don't go away.
Hello again, we get updates from the world of business. My name is Morris Ogbete. Now, the 2% reduction in fuel prices by the National Petroleum Authority has already taken effect at some fuel stations. Checks by GBC24 Business News indicate Shell and Total have slashed prices.
Per the reduction, petrol will be selling at 3.393 Ghana cedis per litre from 3.465 Ghana cedis, while diesel goes for 3.151 Ghana cedis from 3.281 Ghana cedis at some filling stations. The chief executive of the NPA, Moses Asaga, noted in a statement that the reduction was due to the city's relative stability as well as spendings on the world market. The reduction in petrol products is coming in less than a month when fuel prices went up between 22% and 27% at the pumps following the passage of the energy sector levy by Parliament in December 2015. Price of liquefied petroleum gas also went up by about 18%. Meanwhile, transport fares have gone up by 15%. The National Petroleum Authority has directed all oil marketing companies to comply with these price reductions accordingly. Government had blamed the increase in the price of petroleum products earlier on in the year on the depreciation of the cedi against the major trading currencies.
And still in business, the Under Secretary of State of the Finland's Foreign Affairs Ministry, Mr. Matti Antonen, is in the country at the head of a 24-member delegation to explore business opportunities. Finland has long-standing bilateral relations with Ghana, and this latest visit is directed at improving trade and business relations between the two countries. Over the past 5 years, Ghana has had cordial relations with Finland, but that is at a political level. With a boom in economic and technological advancement, the two countries are stepping up their relations, this time with emphasis on economic relations. Finland has a lot to offer in areas of ICT, power, forestry and mining sectors. The country is Europe's biggest producer of gold, and one cannot mention Finland without mentioning the global acclaimed ICT giant Nokia. The group was received by the Chief Director of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Leslie Kojo-Christian, and some officials of the ministry. Ambassador Leslie Kojo-Christian was hopeful the visit will translate into meaningful business transactions that will inure to the benefit of the two countries. The leader of the delegation, Matti Antonen, said maximum effort will be put in to yield positive results for both countries.
We are looking for opportunities for both countries to benefit from this increased trade, especially in the sectors of healthcare, energy, telecommunications, and maybe also in forestry kind of sectors where we are strong, and I think give something for Ghana and the Ghanaians. There is a Finnish company called Wärtsilä which is very active in Africa. They are providing technologies to produce power through combustion engines. First of all, it's a way where you can build these power stations very fast. You can also bring them in on barges so that get them in the grid very fast. They don't need water, so it's a very good way of producing power.
The group is in the country for 2 days. And away from that story, subscribers of the eSwitch platform will by close of year be able to receive remittances from abroad directly onto their cards. This will be made possible after a yet-to-be-introduced money transfer platform by the Ghana Interbank Payment System takes off. When this new system is rolled out, eSwitch card holders will no longer need the services of international money transfer agencies.
We'll be launching a new product this year as well, where international remittance companies in the diaspora will be able to transmit funds directly onto beneficiaries' eSwitch card.
Okay.
So in so doing, if I transfer money from you from the UK and you give me your eSwitch card number and I transfer it to you, you are the only one who can actually.
So I'll not need to go to Western Union.
You would precisely. So what it will bring to bear is that instead of going to a designated location with a code, now you have the freedom to go to any bank of your choice, load your funds, and also withdraw the cash.
So what happens to Western Union?
Oh, well,
Vigo.
they can decide, if they so wish, also use the eSwitch platform for disbursements of their funds.
Okay.
They own the business, and we are providing the infrastructure and making sure that the transmission is done in the electronic mode. We are not in the payments business. We are facilitating and ensuring that everything is done electronically.
On the interbank markets, the cedi opened the month of February 2016 on a good note by gaining 17 pesos to the pound sterling. It, however, lost 4 pesos to the dollar to trade at 3 cedis, 80 pesos. You also get to know latest price of gold, cocoa, and oil on the international commodities market. And that was business brought to you by Airtel, SIC, and Ernest Chemist.
If you have just joined us, this is News Hour here on GBC24. Now to what's happening in health. Scientists have been giving a go-ahead by the fertility regulator to genetically modify human embryos. The research will take place at the Francis Crick Institute in London and aims to provide a deeper understanding of the earliest moments of human life. The experiments will take place in the first 7 days after fertilization and could explain what goes wrong in miscarriage. It will be illegal for the scientists to implant the embryos into a woman. Gene editing is the manipulation of our DNA, the blueprint of life. The field is attracting controversy, with some saying that altering DNA of an embryo is a step too far and open the door to designer babies. The regulator, the Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority, has given its approval, and the experiments could start in the next few months. And in more in health, a skin rash is a disease that causes a lot of inconvenience to victims. Today in the Health Diary, we'll take a look at this disease.
A rash is notable in texture or color of the skin. The skin may become itchy, bumpy, chapped, scaly, or otherwise irritated. Rashes are caused by a wide range of conditions, including allergies, medications, cosmetics, and various diseases. There are many types of skin diseases, including eczema, granuloma, lichen planus, and pityriasis rosea. Drug rashes are caused by medication. Contact dermatitis is a common cause of rashes. Most contact rashes can be treated without the help of a doctor. Children are particularly prone to rashes from illnesses such as chickenpox, a virus that causes itchy blisters, measles, respiratory infection, and scarlet fever. There's also a bacterial disease called streptococcus infection that requires antibiotics, as well as hand, foot, and mouth diseases. Use gentle cleansers instead of soap. Use warm water instead of hot water for washing. Do not cover the rashes with clothing if possible. Stop using new cosmetics or lotions as these may have triggered the rash. Do not scratch your rash. If it itches, try an over-the-counter hydrocortisone cream lotion with calamine to soothe the rashes caused by chickenpox and poison ivy, poison oak, or poison sumac. An oatmeal bath can soothe rashes caused by shingles, eczema, or psoriasis. Moisturizing lotion may help eczema symptoms. Seek immediate medical attention if you experience increasing pain or discoloration, tightness of the throat or difficulty in breathing, swelling of the face, new pain or a new rash. Others are fever, dizziness, severe headache, neck pain, repeated vomiting, or diarrhea.
Let's move on to an appeal. 3-year-old Jamila Ibrahim is suffering from a complex hole-in-heart condition known as ventricular septal defect and congenital vaginal blockage. In order to save her life, doctors have recommended that she undergoes a surgery which costs 27,000 Ghana cedis. She's therefore appealing to the public to come to her aid.
Mother of the patient, Safiatu Ibrahim, said her 3-year-old daughter was diagnosed to be suffering from a complex hole-in-heart condition known as ventricular septal defect and congenital vaginal blockage since birth. She said Jamila always finds it difficult to mingle with her peers because she easily gets tired when playing with them. As a result of the ill health, Jamila's education has been terminated. In her battle to survive, the only option available for Jamila now is for her to undergo a surgery. It will cost 27,000 Ghana cedis.
Misre Ghana man adofo Islam for obi biala bet me ka okase freed no. Nyame nka na kuma no hu me mobo. No mboa me. Emintumi ndi akola no kwa. Na me call hospital no so yesi mintua 270 million. Me say the musika no minya de menya niti na me de to adofo ene aboafo no mu hu me mobo. Na me pina akola no kwa.
Donations can be sent to the following account details. Ghana Commercial Bank, Branch Esikuma. Account name Hamidu Ibrahim. Account number 30610100800086. Alternatively, a donor can call 057 055 9054 or 024 149 1694.
The health segment brought to you by FPAC. Blows your pain away. We'll be back with international news. Do stay.
Welcome back. In the international segment, donors at the African Union Summit have pledged $250 million to fight against Boko Haram. AU Peace and Security Council Chief Smaila Shegun announced the development at the AU Summit in Addis Ababa. Boko Haram, facing the heat of a military onslaught in Nigeria, has in the past year stepped up across border attacks in Niger, Chad and Cameroon, while continuing suicide attacks on markets, mosques and other mostly civilian targets within Nigeria itself. Despite offensives by the regional force with troops from Benin, Cameroon, Chad, Niger and Nigeria, the Islamist jihadists maintain strongholds in areas that are difficult to access. Shegun said $110 million came from Nigeria, with the European Union offering 50 million euros, as well as donations from Britain and Switzerland. Chad's President Idriss Deby, the African Union chairman, said it was crucial the money pledged was actually paid to show the firm commitment in the fight against terrorism.
An emergency meeting of the World Health Organization is discussing the explosive spread of the Zika virus. The meeting in Geneva will decide whether to declare a global emergency. WHO officials have described Zika as moving from a mild threat to alarming proportions. Most cases will have no symptoms, but the virus has been linked to brain abnormalities in thousands of babies in Brazil. Declaring a public health emergency of international concern would establish Zika as a serious global threat and lead to money, resources, and scientific expertise being thrown at the problem both in South America and in laboratories around the world. The WHO's actions are under intense scrutiny after its handling of the outbreak of Ebola in West Africa. Its efforts to prevent the spread of the virus were widely criticized, and it was deemed to have been too slow to declare an emergency. That's all. In the international news, we'll be back with Theophilus Sampa with sports.
Hello, it's that time again that will bring you updates from happenings from the world of sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. This is in partnership with HRPS Tornado Betters and Lunat. Let's talk rugby. Newcomers in the ongoing Ghana Rugby Football League, Congress RFC, continued their unbeaten run in the league at the weekend. They handed the defending champions, Cosmos Buffaloes, their first defeat. The win has strengthened their grip at the summit of the league table. The clash between Congress Rugby Football Club in the yellow and black jersey and the defending champions Cosmos Buffaloes RFC was tagged by connoisseurs of the game as the El Clasico of Ghana Rugby. This was because both teams were unbeaten in the 2015-2016 Ghana Rugby Club Championship with 5 bonus points each that places them jointly on top of the log with 25 points each. With determination written on the faces of all players, the encounter was tense from the blast of the whistle to the end. Congress were the first to make a try through Eugene Awache, but the subsequent conversion was wasted. Swabiru Amuzu brought the league champions level with a neat move. Awache, who moved from Buffaloes, scored a second try, with Francis Donko scoring from a penalty. Captain of Cosmos Buffaloes, Ako Wilson, scored a try, with Francis Lawson converting to end the first half 13 points to 12. Back from the break, the intensity of the game continued as Congress pushed for more tries. Buffaloes, with a man down, still pushed for a try to overturn the scoreline, but Michael Akwe made a decisive try to give them the famous win. Here are some reactions from the captains and coaches.
This is the first time we were able to have a competitive match like this. Since we started, we are not able to get any team to play with us like this. By God's grace, we thank God for we were able to win this game.
Cosmos Buffaloes, they gave us a very good run for our money. I'm happy with the enthusiasm that they showed and the aggression in the game. Well, at the end of the day, what we want to do is to create a good platform for our players. The league itself feeds to the national team.
We know it's going to be a tough game for us, but we wanted to come and do our best. It's not over yet. I think there's going to be another game. We're still looking. Who knows? Anything can happen. The points are what is much important now, but we believe our next game we're going to win. So at least we can secure the second position now.
As a good club, say we'll take our defeat in good faith and we'll go for the semi-final. And when we are able to qualify for the finals, we'll still meet them again. So by then we'll have, access ourselves and then probably meet them boot to boot at the final.
Here are the standings after match day 8. Congress occupied the summit with 29 points. Cosmos are second with 26 points. Dansoman Hurricanes third with 18 points. Ida Sports are fourth with 16 points, with Griffons fifth with 10 points. Accra Sharks are sixth with 4 points, with UCC Spartans occupying the bottom with 2 points. The semi-final stage will kick off next week. The Badminton Association of Ghana BAG has presented a set of equipment and kits to the Tema Badminton Club. The equipment were from the Badminton Association of England. The equipment included 49 rackets and sets of kits, including 6 tracksuits, 30 t-shirts, 7 shorts and 6 jackets. These items are meant to support the implementation of shuttle time projects in schools launched in the country in 2014. The president of the Badminton Association of Ghana, BAG, Mr. Nestor Gali, expressed appreciation to the Badminton Association of England and urged the club to make good use of it by training the children to become future stars.
The Shuttle Time program is for training of kids to play badminton. It's a program instituted by Badminton World Federation for school-going kids to play badminton. So when going to school and you are playing badminton, we expect that you would develop physically and mentally, and eventually you'll become a national player.
The coach of the club, Ms. Mary Eno, who received the items, pledged her commitment to use the equipment for the intended purpose.
We have some, but it's not enough for them. So when they come, they have to wait for people to train when they finish before the others can also train. But I think this one that they've brought, it will help to go a long way so that all of them will be able to use the rackets at the same time.
After the presentation, members of the club were taken through some rudiments of the game. Last year, the association benefited from a similar gesture. Let's go straight to Rwanda, where Mali came from behind to beat Tunisia by 2-1 to book a place in the ongoing Championship of African Nations CHAN semi-final stage. That's sports.
In the arts and entertainment segment, songstress Wiyala has advised other musicians to be humble and not allow stardom get into their heads. She said this during a chat on Showbiz on GBC24.
But it doesn't get into my head like, okay, now you're a big star, you know, hey, you want to talk to me? People come up to me, I still give my number, call me. When you call and say, oh, I just want to say hi to Wiyala, is she around? My manager goes like, yeah, her family just want to say hi.
Amazing.
They call, yeah, then I start talking. Then, yes, I love that. And that even makes me humble more. I think after a while in the music industry, it has taken me almost 2.5 years to study the music industry and really know where my market is yeah. And how I should present my music and what I stand for. This evening, I'm just, it's all about the Leno. And let's see how far it goes. And I'll do my best to promote it wherever. And let's see how Ghanaians will look at it. Because this is, you different. Can see, yeah, so different. And I wanted to do something different. Everybody knows Wella to be,
yeah, you know, lioness.
Yeah, the lioness. But you
this is a tamed lioness.
Yeah, but the lioness was still in those clothes. You can see my haircut, everything, still Wiyala. It's just that sometimes you have to give a bit of, you know. And
that's it in the arts and entertainment segment.